this and like that and like this and like that and like this and like that and can you guys hear us? Let me just oh yeah, you can hear us because somebody said Silent Hill 3 in the chat. Hello everybody, happy new year 2021. We finally made it, and that means all the crap that happened in the last year is just going to stop, right? That's how it works, right? As the Gregorian calendar has run out 2020, 2021, all good stuff from here, right? Oh, John, I can hear the stream on your end. Is it playing somewhere? John? John, I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay, what have I got to turn down?
Like, I can... Okay, I think whatever it was, I can't hear it now. All right. Hello to everybody in the chat. Matilda, good to see you. Calypso, salut mademoiselle. Emerald Queen, Spiderlink, Jadindi, Scumbigula. It's a great name. Abadonna. All right, so what are we doing here today? Well, I came up with the idea for doing this because my mother suggested to me that, hey, you know, some people, you know, given everything that's going on in the world right now, might be feeling pretty lonely. We can't really get together with our family or our friends as we usually do during Christmas and New Year's or just the holidays in general. So she suggested, you know, what you and John should do, because, you know, some people actually have been wanting the two of us to get back together and work again, is do a New Year's stream. You know, just reach out to the people that might be like, oh, it's New Year's, I'm not feeling particularly great. You know,
Max, I'm getting two audios.
Two audios?
Yeah. I'm hearing you twice.
What do you mean? Oh. Is it... I think you might have the stream open and you need to pause it or something.
See.
Yeah, because I can just barely hear it on your end. You need to pause whatever window you have the stream open on. Do you have YouTube open? Do you have YouTube open somewhere?
I think I've got it all shut down now. How are we doing for...
Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, great. All right. So, yeah, just to summarize, we thought it'd be good to reach out to people that might be struggling with some mental health issues, right, on today's date for obvious reasons. And joining me is the aforementioned John Tucker. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully well, thank you.
Yeah, it's good to see you after a long time of not doing this.
Yeah.
Thankfully, since we've stopped, I've been dealing a lot better, physically and mentally. You know, I'm still dealing with stuff. But...
You're welcome.
Yeah, no correlation. I wasn't trying to imply that. You know, it's actually I'm actually really terribly happy to see you. No, correlation doesn't imply causation, at least in this case. Hold on a second. So I'm actually going to have John up on the screen for the majority of this. But before we do, I just want to let you guys know, I'm not sure if I just said this in my opening interlude, but the whole point of the show is so that you can call in and talk to us, you know, whatever's on your mind. If you're feeling lonely or you're experiencing any other negative emotions, John and I are here to, you know, relieve the pain, I suppose. Okay. And, yep.
I was just going to say, you've got a couple of people who are in the waiting room ready to talk, Stefan Grimm and Sarah.
All right, cool. So we're going to bring those people on in just a second. But before we do, I just want to tell everybody else how they can join if they never used Zoom before, just in case. If you look at the screen right now, I'm bringing up Zoom, the website zoom.us. And all you have to do is take the meeting ID and the password that are in the description box of the stream, and then go to zoom.us, go to join a meeting, right? You see my cursor hovering over it, click on that. And then let me see if I can do this so that you guys can just do exactly what I do. One sec. So where is my... Here we go. So if you look in the description box of the stream, you'll see this is the meeting ID, right? And then you hit join, right? And then it'll do this. And then once you get in, like, you just follow the prompts: open, launch meeting. I'm not going to launch it because I'm already in the meeting. But then when you get into the meeting, you have to put in the passcode, which is also in the description box. And then you will be in the waiting room to talk to us. All right, sounds simple. If you have any questions, just let me know in the live chat. Hey, Jetty, good to see you. All right, so we got 92 people watching live
90
right now.
people live and 4 people in the waiting room.
Woohoo! All right, so let's get started. Let's not waste any time. We're going to try and go for a couple... Well, I know John has to go in 90 minutes, but I'm going to try and push it to a couple hours.
Okay.
So let's get started. Who do we have first, John?
Well,
wait.
Let me plug my thing that you've got up on the screen. When we were doing our show in a regular way and COVID started, I decided I wanted to give back and make available some coaching opportunities to people who couldn't afford a coach. And so we started with the coping with COVID thing that you see on the screen, and people scheduled a chat. Turns out that's a very fine thing. Lots of people have been coming. In fact, Monday coming, there's a couple of people signed on to this schedule a chat. You see my website, you click on that, you talk to me. It's not long, it's 20 minutes, but you can do a lot in 20 minutes. And there's no sales pitch and no charge. And I'll keep that up there for a long time, at least as long as COVID is hanging around, until we're all vaccinated to pieces. So that Monday afternoon business, as you see, there's 4 open spots for Monday coming and a whole bunch more for the rest of the time. So people are welcome to sign in if they want to chat with me, talk, moan, groan. By the way, you've got endless people. You've got 7 people in the waiting room, Max. We can't talk a lot more. We're going to have to talk to our people.
Holy granola bars. Okay, here, let me just very quickly bring you up on screen. Let everybody see your fresh, lovely face.
Ancient,
to compensate for the fact. Yes, to compensate for the fact that they can't see mine. All right, so who do we got first, John?
We got Stefan Grimm, and I will admit Stefan Grimm right now to the call.
Stefan Grimm, an awesome name, dude. Sounds like a superhero name. How you doing?
Hans Christian Andersen. Here he is. He's connecting to audio as we speak.
Okay. Hopefully... Oh, we just went over 100 live viewers.
109 really cool. People on our call. Lovely. Nice to see you all.
All right. Is everything okay? Sorry, what's their name?
Stefan Grimm is mute. There he is. Hello, Stefan.
Hello.
Stefan, you there? Hey, we can hear you, man. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm actually not super depressed right now. Just a little lonely because I'm living in Germany at the moment and with my parents because I'm in kind of a transition period, and I just haven't been able to socialize with friends for a long time because of lockdown. And I don't know. I was just looking for your YouTube videos for some interesting thoughts about games, and then I saw that this is on, and so I just decided to join spontaneously and listen in what's going on. I didn't expect to be the only alone on the with you in the discussion, but
yeah. Well, it's kind of good timing. Just the fact that you happen to see this and you happen to be the first person to call in. That's pretty good.
It's kind of a wonderful serendipity.
It is, yeah. I was thinking about synchronicity and these things, yeah.
Yeah, you went there. You went there before I did. That's good. That's good. So you've been watching those synchronicity videos too?
I saw them. I've been reading Jung's book. Right now I'm reading it. Actually, I haven't watched all of your videos. I watched the one about Hellblade and the one about Nier Automata because I played those 2 games in the past 2 months.
Damn, dude. You got good taste. I love Hellblade, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated games of the last 5 years. And it makes me really, really happy when people tell me that I was able to introduce them to it, or, there's somebody else that shares my love for that game. And of course, Nier is amazing as well.
It was actually really, really interesting when I think I also watched your video about synchronicity. And the interesting thing about your video on Hellblade was that that I'm in psychotherapy, and I was struggling with something, and I couldn't make any progress in understanding myself, and I had played the beginning of Hellblade like 3 years ago, but somehow I ended up in these parts. I think it was right before you have to fight the Fenrir, the wolf, and somehow it was too dark for me, and I didn't continue playing it, and then somehow a few months ago it just crossed my mind that I had to play this game, and I played it, and then I came to the end, and I thought a lot about the end and about struggling with one's inner darkness and all these problems, and it actually helped me. It gave me like the crucial push in my own self-understanding, like this game, thinking about it, in particular your analysis of it, and also the analysis of a few other people who applied Jungian archetypal psychology to that game, and it helped me a lot because I kind of understood like the power of these archetypical themes in my own psychology through the game. And yeah, it was kind of your video that kind of pushed me over that threshold, where I was able to see that, and it was actually a huge insight for me. So yeah, that was really great.
That is
you became conscious of the sorry, go ahead, John.
That is the most coherent and supportive thing I've ever heard about video games and their power. I know there must be a lot to video games, but Stefan, you've just given me a new reason to look into this whole world of video games. When you talked about psychotherapy not doing the trick for you and the game actually closing the gap on that, I was immensely impressed. That sounds like a very good discovery.
Well, I wouldn't say that psychotherapy isn't doing the trick for me. It's just that I think art in general helps you to free associate, helps you to experience things and to have new ideas about what's going on in your mind, because you're exposed to some experience, which can be in video games can give you an experience in a very different way than a book can, or a drawing or a painting can. So it's just an experience, something that you experience, and then you have a response to that, right? And then you can bring that up and talk about it. And so I wouldn't say that psychotherapy isn't doing the trick. It's just it was the game in this particular place where I was. It kind of gave me the crucial input, this experience to think about myself and to bring it up and to discuss it with my therapist. And
excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interactivity of games, it adds a whole new dimension to how one can experience art. And I think that in regards to academia, I think that there's a whole lot that's being missed out on by not using games in order to teach people. And John, even just with what Stefan here said, you could just intuitively pick up on that, hey, there's something here that can be of good use to people. For a while now, I've wanted to do a video called The Academic Value of Video Games, and it's just taken me a while to get it together because there's so many games that can sort of demonstrate their utility for educating people and for helping people. And I need to get that together so I can show it to John and put it out to the world and let them know, hey,
I'd be very
useful.
interested in your progress in that area, because a great number of my clients do use video games a lot, and they don't explain it. They just live it. They do it. Mm-hmm. And so stepping back from it the way you can do would be very interesting to me.
Yeah, if a game, I wanted to do that video in conjunction with a couple of other YouTube channels. I'm sure some of you guys are listening right now are familiar with Logo Steve, Gaming University, and Reinstall Paul. I wanted to get their input on some games in that video. That's partly why it's taken me so long to get it together. It's not their fault; it's my fault. But anyways, yeah, I'm really glad that you could come on here and talk about the glory of Hellblade, Stefan. It's one of those games that more people need to play. It's one of the most underrated games, I think, of the last 5 years, and I cannot wait until the sequel comes out, supposedly sometime this year. Come on, Ninja Theory. Let's get it at it. You guys are awesome. You're on a roll.
I also find it amazing because what I find is that often, at least for me, like gameplay is gameplay alone is not. I mean, it doesn't make a huge difference for me in the experience of a game. Like, it doesn't, like, if the fighting system is like super sophisticated, or these or even also graphics or something, is not the important thing. The important thing is that I have a story that immerses me and that drives me, and that I want to know what happens, and it's an experience that is worth having. Yeah.
That's why I play games, because I don't tend to be particularly good at them. If you see in any of my more recent videos where I'm playing like the Dark Souls games, which are notoriously difficult, people in the comment sections are like, "Hey, why do you suck?" It's like, I don't. Come on, I'm only playing these games for the story, man. Just be happy that I may actually manage to get through it. Listen, man, we only have the clock is sort of ticking by, but I just wanted to ask before we move on if you had anything else you'd like to say.
I mean, in this context, I had something I had the thought about that was, I finished playing The Last of Us Part 2 today, and I thought a lot about it, because I also heard that there's a controversy about the story and all that. And I was just thinking, in the context of what I was saying about Hellblade, was that The Last of Us was, what it did for me was, it kind of gave me this, this, I mean, the interesting thing about it is that you have normal people doing terrible things, right? And the special thing about the fact that it's a video game is that you as a player have to do the terrible things, right? And then, so you're kind of, I mean, Ellie kind of goes through the game, and then, I mean, you kind of relate to her, but then she tortures people and kills people, and you as a player have to do it. And so you kind of slowly slide into this violence, right? And until you arrive somehow in the heart of darkness, right? And and then I was asking myself as a player, also, like, when you kill, and like when you have enemies, and you and you have a reason in the game to kill them because they attack you, then you get a satisfaction as a player from killing them, also, like, in cruel ways, right? So you get a satisfaction. There's a primal satisfaction in doing that. And then if you do that, when you do that as a player, you ask yourself, like, what is that part of myself that enjoys that, even if it is just a video game? And what does that say about me, that I can do that? Yeah. And which is something very special about video games, which you cannot do in a book, or in another medium, because you don't have to do it yourself.
Excuse me, Stefan and Max, I think we could spend a whole show on this topic. It's so deeply interesting.
Yeah.
However, you do, Max, have 6 people waiting. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Stefan. Like, I appreciate what you're trying to say about The Last of Us, and in a lot of respects, I agree. But even when it comes to the story of The Last of Us, especially Last of Us Part 2, what John said is right. I could spend an hour talking about my thoughts on that game. That's part of the reason why I didn't do a video on The Last of Us Part 2 in the first place. So if you don't mind,
no, it's fine, yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in, but we have to move on.
Thank you.
All right, God bless you, sir, and have a good New Year.
Yeah, you
okay?
too. Thanks.
Stay yellow.
Bye.
All right, peace out. Who do we have
we
next?
We have
John?
Saber Darth. Saber Darth.
I love these names,
Isn't that
man.
beautiful?
Hey, Saber.
Saber Darth's connecting to that, and here he is.
Hello, how are y'all doing today?
Good, man. Just chilling like a villain. How you doing?
I'm sort of like getting through the whole COVID situation. I discovered your channel actually very recently, in like the last week or so. And I've been like kind of binge watching. Honestly, I started watching your Halo Reach was a playthrough, because I'm heavy into Halo myself. So
Nice,
I've been obsessed with that series since 2000. I was there like day one for Halo 2 in Times Square. So, but I decided to come on here because I've been dealing with a lot of mental things going on, especially relating to the holiday season and the whole COVID situation kind of going hand to hand, bringing a lot of stress. And I wanted to decide to come onto a platform to honestly talk about it, because I don't really have many people to really talk about it.
Yeah. Nobody really does. It's like a completely new thing, and a lot of us are still trying to figure it out. And it's a lot harder when we're all separated because of it, right?
Yeah, no, I've had like this year has been a very opening thing because I've met a lot of people that like have kind of helped me discover who I am throughout like, the lockdown because you sometimes have more time to talk to more people that you probably didn't have before. But other times there are stresses and one thing that's definitely been really getting on me is my anxiety as a whole because I've always struggled with anxiety like 10 years honestly because I've had my mother pass away like years and years ago and I've been more of like had pressures in life to kind of push myself through with that and dealing with friends coming and going, you know abuses from like exes and whatnot. It's a lot to take in. And I tried to like find a middle ground to go through it, but this year was really heavy because not only was I not able to work, which was one of my outlets,
Mm.
but like everyone was like coming to me about their problems. I was there trying to help out because I'm a bit of a people pleaser. That's one of my ultimate problems. And I've been trying my hardest to honestly find out a way to say no.
That's tricky. It's tricky to say no and appear to be impolite or rude when sometimes that is what you kind of need to do. I wanted to loop back to what you said, Saber or Dareth, about anxiety. We have discovered you can't escape anxiety. Like it catches you. It's really fast. So what you need to do is figure out a way to run with it somehow, use it somehow, listen to the messages it's sending you, kind of sit with it a little bit, look at it. What's this telling me? As opposed to what is this horrible feeling that I have? It's tricky, but you can't get rid of it. It comes from the amygdala. It comes from ancient emotion. So you sort of have to learn to negotiate a little bit.
Yeah. I just I've been trying to able to like negotiate with it. It's just with the holiday season, I work
Sure.
I'm a what was it? I work in an Amazon warehouse, and if anyone knows, those type of businesses were like shooting up with like business. So I I
Oh, I
was
know, man. I work in retail
I
too.
worked 7 days a week, 8 hours every day, sometimes almost 10 hours. It was a pain, and
Yeah.
it took a toll on my mental health to where um, I've been sort of like struggling with like a best friendship I've had. I even lost a friendship that I had for 10 years with someone because I was trying to juggle not only their stresses and their problems but also mine. And when I came around to saying, hey, look, I need to focus on myself, they took it as a petty thing and decided to leave. And it's hard because people have different ways of coping. And
Mm-hmm.
when you say that you want to focus on yourself, people automatically assume that's you're abandoning their issues and um their problems. And like I'm just trying to find a way to help myself before I can help anyone else. And that's the reason why sometimes I'm a little worried about pulling myself away from people to try to get myself a couple minutes, because I feel like people are just going to abandon as soon as I decide to go off to do something.
And you feel like your agreeableness and it sort of played a factor in you not being able to get across to these people how difficult things have been for you lately because you're just so desperate to try and make them happy and make them be happy with
Yeah,
you.
and then what I realized that um doing that, I neglected on helping myself and making myself feel happy. And then when there were situations where I was alone or no one could be around, I went into a very deep depression and ended up honestly in the hospital for a while. It was really bad.
Well, listen, dude, like based on what you told me about working at Amazon 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, especially during this part of the year, I can't imagine what that must have been like because I work in like a similar job. It's not Amazon, but it's similar. And as you know, like things have been progressively just getting crazier as the years went on, and the past couple months have just been nuts. So that on top of the fact that you're dealing with your own personal issues, that obviously is going to lead to a lot of well, for me, it would lead to personal meltdowns. I don't know if you're on the spectrum, but either way, it's
I
stressful.
haven't been diagnosed with it, but I've noticed like the last at least few years I've been developed, at least I've seen traits of it, and I haven't gone really to go and like get an evaluation to see if I have it. Because for the longest time, my parents would like deny about it because they would be like, "Oh, you know, he's just going through stuff," and they would put me through like school and whatnot without really getting me like any help. And all these stresses like culminated with me like with my only best friend now taking some space, and right now I'm just like really worrying about like, you know, what's going to happen like this year. I know people come and go, but like certain people are very important to me in my life, and it's like it sucks because like, you know, you invest so much time and effort to try to do things. Sometimes you make a couple mistakes because we're all human, and I feel like, you know, I'm just on square one, just trying to, you know, hopefully rebuild a relationship I had with this person, and now I'm like just really antsy about stuff and trying to get through.
Well, let me ask, like, obviously the first thing that I think is important is just for you to get into a healthy state of mind so that if you want to go and try to get in contact with these people, you can do so with obviously the best frame of mind. Is it possible for you to reach out to these people via email? Like that way you can write down all your thoughts coherently and diplomatically, so that way, you know, there's no misunderstandings.
Yeah, no, there is. Like I have them on Discord, and you know, like I'm sort of close with them, but like right now they just want to distance themselves from me because they're dealing with their own stuff, because I apparently they felt like I was pushing too much of my problems onto them. And to a certain extent, yeah, because they did come in and they were trying to help me out through very dire situations. And I was stubborn about getting some help for a while because I grown up, because I don't know if like it's common where people are told, you know, you got to do this on your own. Because it's hard to ask for help. Usually people just try to stigmatize it and say, oh, mental health, you could just learn how to help yourself by just, you know, calming down.
Well, in some cases that's true, and in other cases it's very not true. Well, so anyways, I think in regards to getting in contact with these people, as you clearly just explained, what's been going on with you has been going on with them, and I think it's best for all parties involved for the time being to just calm down, get back into a healthier frame of mind. You know, 2020 is over. Hopefully 2021 will be a bit better. And then leave that door open so that you guys can come back together and say, hey, you know, I'm sorry about whatever happened in the past, but I just want to let you know that I'd like to get back in contact with you so that way we can be friends and support each other. I mean, that's what the entire world needs right now, right? Hopefully we can start over. Is it possible to leave that sort of impression open to these people?
It is possible. Because the thing with my anxiety is I worry about the negatives. So the second, even if if there's an opening for it, I'm like wondering, it's just going to end up where, you know, even if I did give space, even if I did contact them later on at a certain time where I feel like I'm, you know, easier to express my emotions in a coherent way, I feel like it's possibly too late with the damages.
Well, I started spoken for a little bit here. John, do you have any
No,
thoughts?
it's what you're saying makes sense. In some cases, Saber, it may be too late and it's done. But in other cases, it's possible to step back to talk in a friendly way and wait till circumstances are easier for you to chat with people. Being anxious about it won't help it. You can't help being anxious, but it won't help to do that. You know.
Yeah. Can I, and one just thing to build off of that, you know, Darth, I've actually had a couple of friends who I've been talking with lately that are sort of regretful about things that have happened in the past, and they're having trouble moving beyond it. In regards to that, you know, as John said, you know, sometimes there are just instances where it's not possible to make things work out in the way that you'd like them to. And the best thing to do to move forward from that and to build beyond the anxiety is to do everything in your power to follow your conscience and live more better and live more authentically than you did in the past. So that way, you know, your personal successes can outweigh your personal deficits. And I've found that when it came to, the things that I've done in the past that I regret, that's how I've been able to move past that and live happier.
No, I understand that. And, that's something that I've been trying to, do. Especially now where like I've sort of like distanced myself from social media because I was a content creator. I was like heavy into like Halo Machinimas. That was like my thing. But, you know, the trouble with that though is that like there's a lot of stresses, especially when you have a following on Twitter. You feel like you have to constantly make content in order to keep like attention going. And I was like, I can't do this. As much as there are people out there that enjoy my content, I need to pull myself back and kind of take a break for a while because I can always get back into it, even if it's not at like the height it is now. I can always get back into it because it is a passion I have. But I just hope, I'm hoping, because I don't want to I don't want to hope that 2021 is the year that fixes everything, because that's something I see a lot of people say is that, 2021 automatically, it's a great year, even though COVID's still here, even though everything, it just started. And I kind of want to just take this time as a basis to kind of build a theme, because I've been looking at like CP Gray videos, and one of his videos about, not using resolutions, but rather a theme to do small goals throughout the year. So that way you feel like you're making some sort of progress instead of just focusing on a big picture that may take longer than just a year to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's obviously what I do for myself and what I recommend for everybody, because if you set too big goals for yourself all the time, you're going to constantly fail, and then you'll just get too discouraged. If you set those little things that you can do one by one, they increase exponentially the things that you can do, and then before you know it, you're in a far better place than you were originally. Right? That's what I sort of was able to accomplish for myself with my YouTube channel. But listen, dude, before we let you go, I just want to say, as a fellow content creator, if you ever wanted to talk more about this and just about the stresses of creating stuff, because everything that you said, I sympathize with, what with YouTube and feeling the need to constantly put stuff out. If you ever wanted to talk to me more about this, just feel free to email me. Okay? Do you know what my email is?
I could probably look it up. Maybe honestly, I probably will join the Discord, to be honest, because I saw that in like another link. If anything, I'll just find it through your channel and I'll join it like after this.
Stupidly, I don't think I actually put all my links into the description of this live stream, but if you look at any of my other videos, you can find a link to my Discord. And my email, it's very simple. It's just maxdarrett, all one word, at yahoo.ca.
All right, then. I'll definitely look into that. But it was a pleasure meeting you both. I'm very happy to start being like a new viewer to the channel, and hopefully, continue on, because your content is pretty cool. So thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Nice meeting you, Saber Dareth.
Thank you, John. Good luck and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Right. And God bless all the fellow Halo fans out there.
Praise be.
Praise be. All right. Thanks, man. Hold on. I just got a text. Okay. Cool. So, nice meeting you, Darth. Who do we have next, John?
Some guy is ready to join.
Nice. Hello, Some, or should I call you Mr. Guy? Yeah, we can't hear you, man. I don't know if you're talking. You might need to mess with your settings a bit. Excuse me. Yeah, I got it's sort of a gag present for Christmas. I don't know if you guys heard this just a second ago, but I was just taking a drink from my giant water bottle. It's literally, I think, 4 liters. It contains 4 liters. Like a gigantic gauntlet. And you can't see it. It's made of titanium, but it keeps things cold for over 5 days if you put ice in it.
Good heavens.
I love it.
Good heavens.
Normally when I hold things... Yep.
Some guy is there, but not there. So we'll let the next person in. And some guy can maybe join in when his audio is working. The next person is 375744.
What? What's the name?
375744.
757. Oh, I was just wondering if that's like if you look at it upside down, it looks like a name or something.
Testing.
Yeah, we can hear you. 375-744.
Oh,
I've not
doesn't
used
work.
Zoom anymore.
Fuck, of course.
I'm a 20-year-old in a boomer's mind. I don't know how to use this.
It's okay, dude. I'm the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. This is crazy. I've like the other guys said, I've just been binging your content, and you make good videos, and I think you're doing a lot of good for mental health and Asperger's and stuff like that, and you've definitely helped me a whole lot.
Am I coming through now?
Oh, hey, some guy. Can we just?
You can kick me. This guy was.
I'll wait for this other guy to finish first.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much. 3757. Can we call you by something
Call me
else?
Alex. Yeah, call me Alex.
All right, thank you so much, Alex. And I'm terribly glad. You know, sometimes, as I was just talking with Darth a second ago about producing content on YouTube, sometimes it could just become overwhelming, the need to put stuff out. But honestly, lately I've been feeling more and more fulfilled and grateful with the messages that people have been sending me in about, them thanking me for my effort. And you doing it for me just now just put a big smile on my face. So thank you. That's
great. I make videos too, and music and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of I feel like I have a tendency for self-sabotage. I see a video do well or a song do well, and I see all these new numbers, these new people coming in, and I get scared by it almost, and it makes me kind of recoil back into my shell, which obviously isn't a good thing because I'm growing and I'm doing well, but it has the complete opposite effect, and I run away from it almost. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with that kind of thing, but it's a weird pattern that I've seen.
So I'm sort of having a bit of trouble understanding. Like, what exactly is it that's causing you, like, making you feel like you need to run away from something?
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm an anxious person. I have a lot of anxiety, and I don't like the idea of being a voice of authority on a certain subject because I don't have my own shit together. I don't know if I can swear, but
it's too late now. No, it's okay.
Yep.
Alex, it sounds like you're not valuing yourself as much as you ought to. I think you have more to say, more to give, and then when you see a little bit of success, it kind of scares you. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I would say that's quite close.
Yeah. I believe that somebody who is close to you can talk to you, and they will help you see the value that you have for you. In other words, feel better about your contribution. It sounds like it's intelligent. It sounds like it's sensitive. It sounds like it's empathetic, but you're not valuing yourself as much as you could. And I think someone else, to act like a mirror, to say, wow, Alex, that was great. No, that was really great. No, I mean it. Someone who would,
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
someone who won't lie to you.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I just very quickly, I have a couple people that I pass my scripts around to, just to make sure that I get some constructive feedback. Like, I have a good friend named, like some of you already know, who Aliza is. She does the thumbnail art for my videos sometimes. I passed my original script for a video I did on a game called Observer, and she says, "No, this is bad. Yeah, damn good game." And she got me to redo it, and I'm glad that I did. So if you have somebody like that, somebody that you can trust to tell you the truth, I think,
Max,
and you're truthful with yourself.
Differently wired folks tend naturally to not appreciate themselves enough. Like that seems to be par for the course. You could almost say that it's pretty typical that they feel bad when another person, a neurotypical person, would say, "That's great. I don't care." Perhaps it's sensitivity. Perhaps it's a long history of things not working really well. But I would hope that Alex, you'll find ways to say, you know what, I can appreciate myself. I can do good. I can do good stuff.
I don't want to out you, Alex, but is there any way you can maybe tell us maybe kind of what types of videos or content you've been producing?
Music is a big passion of mine. That's what I've been working on for most of this lockdown. But it's quite I don't know, socially, politically charged, I guess, which links to my videos that I make, and that's they're touchy subjects. So that's what I mean when I say I don't want to be a voice of authority when I can't get my own stuff together. So it's difficult. I feel like I'm in between a rock and a hard place, and I love doing what I do. I love being creative, but I don't know. It's just scary seeing the numbers going up.
Can I give you a little bit of advice as a fellow content creator in regards to what you're talking about? Because
sure.
I've used to do, for those of you who have been like OG Max Starrett fans, you might remember that I used to talk a lot about politics on this channel. And as the years went on, I realized that what I was saying and doing, based on the feedback that I was receiving, while usually, sometimes I would just generally get positive reception. If the video got more popular, I would get a lot of really important feedback that made me consider things that I might not have considered in the past. And as a result, what it made me do is it made me change the stance about the way that I approach my videos. Because when I did my videos on politics and whatever, I would take an authoritative stance. And I realized, you know what? I'm a young guy. I don't know everything. And what I could probably do as a more wholesome and positive way of approaching this stuff is just to say, hey, here's an issue I'm interested in. Here's how I understand it. What do you guys think? Can you maybe correct me if I'm wrong about something? And then with that approach, it will not only help you be more open to the objective truth, whatever it is that you're pursuing, it would also bring a lot of other people on the journey with you, and they'll be happy to be on the journey with you because they'll be like, hey, at least I know this guy is making an honest attempt at things and he's not just trying to be boastful or high-minded of himself just for clicks or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I found that
very
works
careful.
for me.
Yeah, I'm careful with my tone. I re-record lines over and over again till I get the right pronunciation, and if I sound too angry or too frustrated, I'll do it again. It's very I do take it one line at a time, really. But I feel like that kind of obsessiveness is kind of detrimental to what I'm doing. But if I'm working like that, nothing's going to get done in a million years. So I feel like I do need to find a way to let go of it, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I recommend maybe just taking the approach that I did, because that way, you're being honest with yourself and about the work that you're doing, and
honest
making
with
sure
your
that,
audience, and
and as long as that rapport is there, people are going to be more willing to forgive some of the things that we can call quote unquote shortcomings.
Yeah. How much time do I have left before some guy jumps in?
A minute or two. If you don't mind me asking, like, what type of music are you into?
Hip hop mostly. Yeah. I like I like everything really, but hip hop is the thing that I like to make most of. Definitely.
Old school hip hop, new school.
I'm a big fan of boom bap. Yeah, old 90s kind of stuff, but I don't mind the newer stuff either. I'm open.
Right on.
I know.
Yeah, I've just been getting into the hip.
No, what were you gonna say?
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been getting into the world of hip hop myself lately. I've always sort of had an unconscious prejudice against it because I've always just been more into rock. But I've started to listen to some of the right when hip hop was starting to become popular. Like, I've been listening to NWA, Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, all those guys, and really been enjoying it. So unfortunately, I don't have that much knowledge on it, but it's still a wide world of stuff for me to still explore.
Yeah, it's the stuff that you find on the ground, the more independent rappers, they're much more conscious about lyrics. They're not just rapping about, you know, cars, women, and money, that kind of stuff. It goes a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah, I found that a little bit too, based on just a little bit of rap and hip hop that I've been indulging in.
Yeah.
John, what's your favorite Tupac song?
I think it's, if you got some guy waiting in the background there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jump ahead if you got more to say. So
you know what?
I'll leave that call to you.
I think we should let some guy in, because we actually do have another 5 people lined up waiting to chat.
I'm happy to leave.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex, and thanks so much for talking with us, man. And hey,
thanks for everything you do. I really appreciate it.
And hey, but quickly before you go, if you're comfortable, feel free to share your YouTube channel with me on email. I'd like to see what you got.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I won't share it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, Mr. Guy, how do you do?
Well, I'm doing okay right now, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna one up everyone else by being the craziest person here. Like I've been having a lot of real serious mental health issues over the past year, I feel.
Okay. Well, tell us about it, man.
Oh, I mean, I'm not sure where even to start. I mean, I've been having what's probably a psychotic break. I mean, everything that seems to be happening to me, people around me say isn't real. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and I've been having really, really severe spirals of depression. Like I haven't been able to cook. There's days when I can't get out of bed. Like a little while ago, I fell down on the floor because I was too depressed to continue standing, and I've been trying to get mental help for this, but I just go to I've gone to like mental health centers, and they prescribe me some antipsychotics I haven't got yet, but I don't know. There's where would you like me to start, basically?
I think you've made a good start, Mr. Guy, with the idea of falling down because depression has gripped you so much. That is incredibly interesting and obviously very challenging. What occurs to me is that you should be taking notes on what's happening to you. That's good for you to observe that as an objective observer, but it's also good when you see health people. You can say, this happened, look, on this date, this happened, that happened. That might be helpful just to track stuff, just so you can talk about your symptoms.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. That's sort of tricky to do, because I think when you start writing stuff down, you sort of get into a very different mindset, and your thought process gets very.
The point.
That's the point.
That's the point. Exactly. You've hit the nail on the head. You are getting into a different mindset, because when these incidents occurs, you are being victimized by circumstance, and that circumstance may be occurring in your head, or maybe occurring at a combination of outside and inside. But what happens when you get into the different mindset, you're kind of being, you're stepping back, and you're not as emotionally engaged in whatever that challenge is. So it allows you a little break from it.
Well, I think that emotional engagement might also be linked with sort of some of the thought process, or even like memories. Like if I start writing stuff down, I'll forget a lot of what I was just thinking about. So I find it hard to put. I mean, I've always found it very hard to put thoughts into words. I guess. I mean, I'm not a particularly articulate person, but
you sound articulate.
Well, I try my best.
No, you sound quite articulate, and you're describing things in a rather objective way that are kind of terrifying. So good for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, what I'd say, just in regards to having trouble getting all these thoughts out, what you just said there about having a psychotic break, spirals of depression, falling down on the floor out of sadness, those are 3 things right there. And if you make a record of what days those things happen and how much they've taken up your day and how it's affected you, and you plot a course for that, you can present that as, to a medical professional, somebody else that you might trust and maybe look after you. Like, hey, this is what I've been dealing with. I want it to stop. I really need somebody to help me. And that way you can create a support network for yourself so that you can start to build yourself out of this. Now, question, how long have you been dealing with this, and how long have you been seeking out any type of professional help?
How long? I think probably things started like definitely before the initial lockdown. Like this has been, it's been over a year that I mean, the depression's only been getting really bad more recently. I think it might be sort of like cumulative in terms of the depression, but also like the psychosis stuff. Like a lot, I see stuff online that I think is references to my life. I have memories of conversations with people, and when I ask them about it, they tell me that those conversations never happened. So I wonder almost if I'm like seeing things online and confusing that with memories and getting mixed up. And they're not references to my life, but I just can't categorize what I'm seeing now and memories. Like I don't I don't know. It's very just very confusing to me, and I especially find it confusing that people around me don't seem to take it as seriously as I feel they should. I mean, this sounds like you understand just from what I've described. This sounds pretty like intense,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't actually started on my antipsychotics yet. I've got a prescription filled, so I'll probably like go get those later today. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's hard when you feel like I mean, I don't know what's delusions and what's not, but I mean, I feel like people want something from me. I don't know why or what. I mean, I'm not particularly interesting. I don't know anything that the average person wouldn't be able to figure out themselves. I don't think, but. I mean, on the one hand, I don't want to let people down, but like, why would they observe me and expect something? Why not just contact me or tell me what's going on? And so that's why, I mean, that obviously doesn't make sense. And that's why I feel that if it is all in my own head, people around me have to take that seriously and really sort out my mental condition.
The other thing that occurs to me is that you're talking about it now in a very stable sounding way.
Yeah,
So,
and I feel I feel I've had this stability the entire time. It's just a
right.
disconnect with it's not there's, I don't think my thought process or my way of talking or explaining things has been affected. It's just what I observe and believe to be true doesn't correlate with what everyone around me is saying they're observing or they remember happening. So that's especially why I haven't been seeking mental health out, seeking out the help with mental health initially, was because, I felt like there's no way going crazy would feel like this, right? Like I managed to maintain coherence through the whole thing. I almost felt like, maybe for some reason people just couldn't tell me what was going on, or they had to lie, or they were putting it off. But there's no way people would put off telling me stuff for over a year. So it's I think it's probably got to be in my head.
Well, maybe it is, and maybe it isn't. What I think it might be best to do is try to set up scenarios with a professional, or maybe get your family involved or your friends
I've
involved.
seen I've seen a psychiatrist several times. At one point I actually went on hunger strike because I basically said, hey, you have to either tell me what's going on if it's real, or if it's not real, you need to legitimately get me some mental health help with my mental health. I went down to the local mental health center. I saw some people there. I went a second time because I was just way too depressed to get through the day, and I really had to go talk to someone. But
Right.
I mean, they haven't even there, speaking with people who are supposed to deal with mental health issues, they didn't seem to find this too concerning or worrying. They were mostly just concerned if I wanted to hurt myself or others, and I'd never want to hurt myself or others. So I told them that. But I mean, even if even if no one's going to be harmed, I don't feel like I can live like this or observe the world in this way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. What I was trying to get at before, in terms of trying to loop people in, is just try to uh, figure out a way where you can prove to yourself beyond a reasonable doubt whether or not it's actually you whether the problem is with you or with these other people, right? And I think that if you get a couple people that you can trust to be on your side to help set up these scenarios so that you can get clarity on whatever it is, these things that you're talking about, that would be one step forward. Now, of course, also just going back to what we were talking about, you documenting things, what I kind of like to suggest to you to do is that when you start taking this medication, please make note of how it's affecting you over the next few weeks, because with most medications, it takes like upwards of a month to 6 weeks for it to fully start to kick in. Just make note of how you feel each day and how things are changing, whether or not the negative feelings you're experiencing are getting worse or getting better, and obviously make sure that information is well known to the people that are looking after you.
Right. Well, I mean, I figure it's got to be in my head at this point, because like there's so many things that just wouldn't make any sense. Like friends of mine would have had to like recorded conversations of me, which I mean that wouldn't make any sense. And I mean people would have had to put together like videos specifically referencing elements of my life, which would have been, I mean, that's pretty grand scale, right? Like that people would put in like time and effort to do things like that, and that definitely doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to
No,
me either.
of course
Like
not.
I'd have to know more detail about it, but based on just what you told me, it sounds pretty outlandish.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's just it. You know, I've got Occam's razor on both sides. This scenario doesn't make sense that it could be happening, but also, I mean, I don't have an alternative explanation for the evidence of it. So, I mean, if neither explanation makes coherent sense to me, I don't know necessarily what the right way to proceed forward is. I mean, I don't want to keep going down the wrong path, but if both paths seem wrong, or that they could be detrimental to my mental health or my thought process, I don't really know what the right course of action there is. And to be perfectly honest, I can't even really be bothered to care about the psychosis anymore, because the depression is just getting so bad that that's the only thing I can focus on. And I don't mean to. I know this probably is a sort of a darker call than you were expecting. I mean, the earlier callers seemed a little
dude.
more.
Dark
okay.
is good. Dark is fun.
Dark is good, dude. That's we were expecting. The whole point of this is for people to talk about what's on their mind, regardless of what it is. You know, just as long as you haven't killed anyone.
No, I definitely haven't killed.
That would be a problem.
I haven't killed anyone. I mean, if people were to go through my entire life and past, like I suspect they have, if that is in fact, you know, not a delusion, I mean, they wouldn't find anything interesting. You know, I'm a very mundane person, and I've been very as nice as I can to people throughout my life. You know, they're not going to find anything bad, so I wouldn't necessarily worry about that. But yeah.
No, I wasn't saying you killed it. I'm just saying in general.
I know. It's you know, I wonder if I'm a little bit autistic as well sometimes.
John, what did you say?
Some guy doesn't sound mundane at all to me. Sounds like a very interesting fellow. Before we go to the 8 callers that are waiting, I would like to say one last thing, Mr. Guy, and that is go to health providers who understand nutrition and vitamins and a whole range of holistic stuff. There may be an insight there that would help you.
Okay.
Go to somebody who understands a wide range of healing, not just a pill for this and a pill for that.
What
By the way, Max, you got...
I'm sorry?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last thing you said.
I'm thinking go to people that are holistic, that are nutritionists, that are herbalists, that understand a range of things that help you get better. Sometimes some of these things can be ameliorated with what you're taking into yourself, as opposed to just medication. Max, you got 9 people in your waiting room.
Holy moly. Okay, well, some guy, I wish you all the best. I'm sorry that we don't have more time to talk about this.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to talk. I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks.
And just finally, before you go, just realize you're not alone, okay? So if you haven't joined my Discord server, for example, if you want more people to talk to about what's on your mind.
Actually. Yes.
Yes! Nice, man. Cool. All right, so hit me up there, or hit other people up there if you got other stuff that you want to get off your chest,
okay.
All right?
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, peace out, brother.
Bye.
All right, who do we got next? Lay him on me.
Keyboards mesh. I am not joking.
Oh man, you guys are giving, like, I like to make really funny names when I'm creating like characters for like video game characters that I'm playing. But you guys are just
Beanie.
upping the ante for me.
Test.
There you go.
Hey.
Hi, Vinny Keyboards.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yep.
great.
How's it going?
Hi. I'm Scumbigula in the chat. That was me.
Oh, hey. Thank you so much for deciding to tune in. What's on your mind?
Hold on, I gotta pause the stream. Hi, I wanna fucking die.
Okay.
It's so definitely hard to talk about, but I feel like it's necessary. And I saw this stream, the schedule for it pop up last night, and I was just like, oh, there we go. There's something that I can like hold on to. So my wanting to die is based on my self-worth. And I used to have this thing with my anxiety where I would, I forget what it's called, but sort of predicting bad things happening. And it's sort of non-evidence based and very much feelings based, where it's, oh, I feel like the plane's going to crash, but statistically it is unlikely that you'd get in a crash because of the less people and everything. So over time, I feel like I've become more statistic based and like math based in terms of, okay, I'm disabled, so I can't work. Therefore, I'm completely useless to society, as that appears to be what the evidence suggests, because I'm not working and I'm leeching off the government. I'm leeching off of, the taxpayers' money, and I'm not contributing anything. I'm not good at stuff. Like, I'm an artist, but I'm not as good as the other people. So it doesn't matter if I exist or not, because there's people that fill in the niche anyway. So I feel like I might as well stop existing. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Wow, thank you for the power of your call, Vinny.
You're welcome.
For your honesty.
It's very honest, and I could see why you would hesitate to bring it forward. Took a lot of guts.
Thanks.
It took a lot of guts.
Yeah. Just that, just calling in to a live show and just being forward like that with that alone, there's a lot of power. You just
helped a lot of people, just right there, that way.
I hope so.
No, I think you did.
You did.
I think you did, because you named that thing in the corner that scares everybody, and you named it.
Yeah, I just saw somebody in the chat say, "Yeah, I want to effing die." Relatable.
Yeah. No, I think that's a powerful statement you've made.
Very nice to hear.
Yeah. So honestly, like, everybody that's watching this stream right now, Vinny, has been exactly where you've been. Otherwise, why would they tune in? I've been where you've been, where you feel completely useless. I suppose if you want to use legal or statistical definitions, I'm quote unquote disabled because I have autism. I have a bunch of different mental health issues that I deal with. But look, what you got to realize is that while it might not seem obvious to you right now, there are things that you can do to make yourself feel like you have function in the world. It might take some time to figure out what that thing is, but it's definitely worth pursuing, and it will give you your life more meaning than you ever thought possible. And this is coming from somebody who 5 or 10 years ago, somewhere in that range, I just felt like exactly where you are. Like, what's the point in going on? I have no use, but you can. And now you said you like drawing, like you're into art. Like, is that your only interest? Do you have any other interests? Can you tell us about them?
Like art, I like cosplay, I like dressing up, being other stuff that isn't me, roleplay.
Do you like, what are they? I've never played them, but like, isn't that sort of the same stuff that's involved with playing Dungeons and Dragons
I'm actually,
and stuff?
making a custom game right now.
Nice. Nice. Well, just off the top of my head, just based on what you told me there, the people make tons of like content online. People are really, really into cosplay.
It's like, well, I'm not good as anyone else, so like.
Oh, how do you know that?
Because I look at it and I'm like, oh well, it's not as good as mine, so might as well just leave.
Well, you don't know. Well, see, here's the problem. With any field of artistry, there are people that are sort of put on a pedestal for being supposedly the best, right? But eventually, with music or with movies or, well, like I said, any other form of art, those people on the pedestal eventually die away because you need to make room for the new people to come in and to reinvent sort of what has already grown old, right? So who knows? Maybe you have something to add to the world in regards to your art, be it with cosplay or I'm guessing visual art, is what you're referring to as well, that might be of worth to people. And one way that you could possibly, combine your love for art and cosplay with, oh, sorry, let me back up for a second. Let me rephrase what I was about to say. One thing that you can do to make yourself stand out, to make yourself become popular and original, is to take your love for art and mash that with your, whatever personal struggles you're going
through. I'd like to jump in for a second here. Vinny, you sound as though you would understand people who have the angst that you're expressing now, that you would have empathy for those people.
I suppose, yes.
But if somebody came to you with a concern like you've expressed or a feeling like you've expressed, you would understand it and be able to hear them with a degree of kind empathy.
I would try to.
Therefore, that is a third thing you have to give, a third value you have. In other words, you could be a safe place for people who are struggling with the kinds of issues you're struggling with.
You know how many people there are out there like you and I that are just so desperate to talk to somebody that won't BS
At least
us,
2.
that will just tell us the truth?
Well,
yeah.
Max, there's 174 people in your chat room right now that are part of this conversation and they're saying nice stuff.
Yeah, I'm like the people in the chat, like I saw somebody else comment before, like when they're talking to mental health professionals, they feel like they're just, a number in the system. What you could provide to people just on your own, without even any, professional qualifications, unless, you want to pursue that, is just being able to be that person that will say, hey, I won't lie to you. I'll talk to you. I'll do what I can to make you feel better. And believe me, I've been where you are, and I want to do everything that I can to help elevate you out of that. You have that power.
Thanks.
You have that honesty. You do.
I wanted to mention at some point that, so my mom is, or has been, emotionally abusive. And I forget which video it was, but it was one of your videos about autism, and I emailed it to her. And she called me over the next day, just like to, hey, come into the living room. And she said, I'm sorry. And I said, for what? And she said, everything, just everything, because this is you. This autism thing, this is clearly you. Wow. So you've improved my relationship with my mother so much with that.
Wow.
Yeah,
don't cry. No, if you cry, I'll cry.
That's okay. You can both cry.
No.
That's powerful. But that's the way it is when the light that's in a person shines on another.
Oh.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Pets you.
Because part of the reason why I did that original, sorry guys. One of the
love you.
One of the original reasons, I love you too. One of the original reasons why I did that series was because I wanted my parents to truly understand that what I'm going through isn't a lie. It's real.
It's exactly what I felt.
And the fact that I was able to provide that clarity to somebody else that was going through something, the exact same thing that I was going through, it just hit me right there. So thank you for
Much
that.
Much love.
Oh God. Okay.
That's all I've got.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good chat.
And listen, Vinny, if I understand, what you're going through right now, it's painful. I've been there too. And please just, we have a Discord server if you need somebody to talk to. If you need to, email me. I'll talk to you. Because you sound like a lovely person just based on the few minutes that we've talked together. So please reach out if need be.
Thank
you.
Much love.
Okay. We got to move on. Much love to you too. John only has a few more
Bye-bye.
minutes with us before.
Bye-bye.
Right,
Nice
bye-bye.
meeting
Thank
you,
you.
Vinny.
Quickly before we move on, we actually got a couple super chats. Frozen, spelt PHROZYN, sends in $20, and it just says, "You are amazing," with what looks like a dancing pear.
It's beautiful.
So,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And there was one other one that I missed. Comes from Chardin. Sends in €10 and says, "To support this wholesome place, thank you for doing this." Thank you for sending that very generous super chat in, and thank you for your kind words, Chardin. I hope that we can continue to build this amazing community well into 2021. John, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Abadana's here, ready to come on board.
Abadana.
Abadana.
That's a pretty name.
Beautiful name.
How do you do, Abadana?
Hello, can you hear me first thing?
Just barely. You're a little bit quiet.
I try.
Sure. Just if you can move to your closer to your mic, is that possible?
How about now? Is something better?
You're good. Can you guys in the chat hear her? I can hear her. John, you okay?
Almost.
Okay. Go ahead, Abba.
All right. So first, thank you for organize that whole event. Sorry for my English, by the way, because that's not my mother language. So sometimes I happen to stutter of thinking a bit too long how to say next thing.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I'm the same way when I speak French. What's your native language?
Polish.
Ooh, nice. I love Poland.
You've been there?
No, I have a fondness for the women from Poland, but anyways, go ahead.
All right, I don't gonna incline. So I wanted to thank not only for today's call, but also for the content you created. I happened to find your channel, Max, like half a year ago by looking some videos about the Last Guardian. So it started from the strange side because I started for gaming videos, but stayed because of your psychological materials. And
that's good. I'm glad that there's somebody else out there that loves The Last Guardian as much as I do.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that there's so little materials about that game, especially that Ico and the Shadow of the Colossus has so many content.
Surprising. It's one of the most again. I know I said this a couple times during the chat, but it is one of the more underrated games in my opinion.
That's right. But according to your psychological materials, I really like the series about the Asperger syndrome because that kind of reminded me to think more about my own mental health. Because there's a possibility that I also have AS, but I not diagnosed it, so it's hard to say for sure, but definitely I have many traits which sometimes can bring me some problems. The last weeks weren't so great for me because of my mental issues, but it also gave me some hope and motivation to just work on myself and decide to take some steps to just make this better. Even to this call is some step for me because I'm not good at talking, and they think that I talk for so many people. It's some achievement for me, I must admit.
You did a very good job here. Like, you're very brave to come on here and speak English when it's not your main language. I'd be terrified if I tried to go on a French talk show and try to speak my French. It's just, it would seem like I'm having a seizure. But you did a quite a lovely job. So I'm just wondering, while we have you, like, from watching my videos, what aspect of your mental health has it helped?
Well, the videos itself, first thing is that helped me understand the problem and to realize that, all right, maybe you're not that strange, and the whole talking that how I'm not normal were more harmful than I was thinking before when I was a child. And I started to notice what I could do better. Maybe a bit too late because I kinda lost my current job because of my behavior, but at least I think I have some lesson learned, and I tried. It also motivated me to seek help, like for now looking only for groups for other Asperger's people. I know I may not be Asperger, but I decided that maybe it will be a good start. Maybe someone will know where to seek therapy. Or it makes sense to look for something like that. Maybe they will have some tips. What should I do for now? Because the pandemic makes these kind of things a bit harder.
So you're trying to figure out what might be useful for to help yourself with everything going on right now.
Kinda.
Sorry?
Could you repeat? Sorry.
I asked if you're looking for tips about things that might help you.
Partly, yes.
Okay. Well, John would be the person to talk to about that. Oh, I have the list of people that are on. Sorry, go ahead,
Well,
John.
I was just going to say, Abba, that you could talk to me on that Monday afternoon. We could have 20 minutes of uninterrupted time to chat. If you want to sign in, it doesn't cost anything. You just go to my website splash page and join up. Lots of people who listen to the show don't get a chance to chat, and so they do that. And you're welcome to do that if you like.
Did you see that at the beginning of the stream, Abba?
Yes. I even bookmarked it, so I'll surely log it there later. Thank you.
Awesome.
Sure. Now, Max, I don't think we're going to get through them, but there are 10 people in your list.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, you have to go in 10 minutes, right?
I am having to go in 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do one more, and then I'll see if I can get through a couple before we close off at the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Abba, for coming on, and you did an awesome job, by the way. And hopefully, we can. If you're in the Discord server, we could talk more. If you need more support,
I look there also. So thank you very much, all of you, and also for all the chat. And I wish all you well, and have friends for that New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you as well. And things will get better, okay?
Okay, so we have Agath Winsome.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, Gath, what's happening? Is that a doobie?
No, it's cigarette. I just learned to roll. It's my newest skill. Which
Nice.
makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I want to apologize first because I don't know how you all feel about like, transgender people and what. So if that's something that's like, you're opposed to, if it's considered.
I'm not opposed to anybody based on factors
Not a
out of their
problem.
control, dude.
Okay, cool. I didn't know, like I like your channel and everything, but I know, some people who are fond of Jordan Peterson are not so fond of me sometimes, which is confusing because he says a lot of other stuff, and I like the other stuff he says. And even then I understand his point, right? And I don't compel anybody to say anything. I guess, well, I'm living with family now, since somebody took a midnight run and I was kind of stuck at my place, so I had to, do what I could do to get by. And now I think I'm feeling very repressed, like I've pretty much stopped expressing myself as I might like to, because I don't want to cause any trouble with my family. And it hurts in a way, but it also feels stable, I guess what, like, fuck, what am I even saying? Pardon me. I knew this would happen. I just don't want to have a breakdown, like when things keep mounting and I don't get enough rest and I keep trying to, and then there's a kid here, my sister has a kid, and when he sees things like that, he doesn't understand it. And so I'm experiencing a lot of guilt over sometimes like snapping a bit, and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty much, I don't know, that's where I'm at right now with yeah.
Well, so you're saying you're feeling very repressed. Are you like dealing with problems of acceptance in regards to your friends and family at the moment?
Not at all. I just don't want to be a bother. So I figure it's easier for everybody to grope with, someone who's normal than it is to, deal with absurdity. A man in a dress.
I think you gotta allow yourself to be a bit of a bother here, not worry about that so much.
Yeah, like in an ideal world, what would you much rather be doing? Like you said, wearing a dress. Would that make you feel a little bit better?
That's sometimes, yeah. I mean, I'm, it's obviously not that simple, but I know that's what people see, right? Like the simplicity is pretty much the realm of things.
When it comes to transgenderism and the people that I've talked to that are trans, it's just trying to explain what's going on. How some parts can feel like they belong some days and other times they don't.
Yeah.
That's more non-binary, but you get the point. It's just a whole cavalcade of craziness and trying to explain it and how to deal with it. I get it. So, yeah, well, like John said, I think you gotta, if you're worried about doing big things right off the bat, maybe just start with doing one or two little things.
Yeah.
One little thing that I can imagine is just, changing whatever clothes you wear just to make yourself feel more at home with yourself, right? And then just build from there.
Yeah.
Being at home with yourself is a key issue here.
Yeah.
And
I don't have a space, right?
Yeah.
So everywhere there's eyes everywhere, and I have agoraphobia, and I have autism, and and it's hard because I have rheumatoid arthritis when I was 2 years old. So my entire life I've been in pain, and I can't do a lot alone, but I feel I don't function. I function okay in a group, but I feel like I don't belong with other people, so like for the most part, I think I'm someone who's meant to be by myself.
Well,
I actually don't think that's true. It may feel true for you at the moment, but I don't think that will stay true.
Yeah, like when I'm in a group setting, you know, like at first I'm great. I love to get to know people, but I quickly become like my place in the group, my function. I feel like an appendix, you know, like a vestigial
Maybe your
organ.
group is a little bit larger than it needs to be.
Maybe, yeah.
It's going to be easier for you to talk to one person than 7 persons.
But would you rather have like 1 or 2 close friends or several just
I don't know if I think I've had close friends. I don't know. You know, people well, MF Doom just passed away, right? So, you know, check the dictionary for the meaning of friends. I think some people take it so lightly and they expect everyone to be everybody's friends, but like a friend is a serious thing, you know? That's someone who you go over the ridge for, you know? And I get that a lot from some people. Like they expect me to call someone my friend, but you know, they're just an acquaintance, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But like,
yeah.
But they take offense to it. I don't know. Yeah, the other day, not the other, like in November, I had a bad meltdown and I threw my head into the wall, you know, and I concussed myself. And now I'm like, I'm still feeling that still, you know, and that type of self-harm is like, I realize I keep thinking about how like all my brain injuries, you know what I mean? Like every time I've hit my head, whether it was myself or just by accident, you know, I don't want to lose my capacity for, you know, thinking.
Yeah. Well, Agath, I gotta say, okay, let's go over the list here.
Yeah, scat.
Rheumatoid arthritis, autism, and dealing with transitioning. That's a lot of stuff for somebody to struggle with. I can't imagine the type of stuff that you've been through internally, and you got to be able to give yourself the opportunity to feel happiness because I know like one thing I say at the end of my Asperger's videos is, you deserve to be happy. And based on all the tribulations that you suffered for, you deserve a reward. And I think the smallest thing that you can do is good. And one place that you can start, like we were just discussing, if you're at home and you're among people that love you, you can start by being a quote unquote bother. And then when you realize, hey, you're not being a bother, it'll snowball into things that, hey, I can do this, I can do that can make me feel happy, and things will get better.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
It will.
Thank you. No, I'll do that.
Yeah,
and you know, and they'll probably like me better for that because I won't be such a grouch, you know.
And like and look,
speaking of a grouch, I'll be a grouch if I don't escape now and do my New Year's kinds of duties. So I'll have to say goodbye to you folks. And I'm sorry I couldn't talk to the other 9 people, Max, you got lined up in your chat room. And I'll see you a little bit later.
I'm happy.
All right. Thank you so much, John.
Okie dokie. See you later. Bye.
I'll let you both go then. I'm sorry for taking up time.
No, you didn't. Agath, it was a pleasure talking to you. And hey, if you ever need people that, to talk to that won't judge you, the Discord server is always there. Are you a part of it?
I think I'll join.
Okay. Here, I'll put a link to it in the live chat, and I'll make sure. Here, I'll put it in the description box of the video. That way, people can join there. That way, I don't forget about it later.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for your. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. John, I think he's gone, but I don't know exactly how to get the other people on here because he's the one hosting the call, right? I probably should have asked him that before he left. Darn it. John, you still there? John. John? Well, you know what, guys? The whole plan originally was to stream for 2 hours. John was only going to be able to stay for 90 minutes. And then I would try to talk to as many people as I could for half an hour before we concluded. But you know what? Maybe we'll just go for another 10 minutes. You know, if you guys have anything that you want to say in the live chat, I can address that while I'm here, you know. Thank you so much to everybody that decided to tune in on New Year's Day. I can't believe we've almost got upwards of 200 people tuning in. It's been lovely talking to you, all of you, and enlightening. You know, just especially when Vinny came in and just told me about how my videos helped her with her mom. That yeah, that gave me a feeling I can't even describe. Yeah, so I got a family member of mine watching the live stream right now. So she's going to text John and see if we can figure out how to bring the other people that are in the queue on. And if we can, please forgive me. While I'm just waiting for people to type things in here, let's see. I got a couple things that I can announce to you guys. Starting on Monday, I'm going to be streaming a particular game. Now, what game am I streaming? Well, it's one... Okay, let me step back for a second. In the last couple of years, people have been requesting that I cover certain stories, movies, games, whatever. And above all, 2 franchises stood out. One is Berserk, and the other is Persona. Persona being the video game, the spin-off of the wider series known as Shin Megami Tensei, and Berserk being the manga that got an anime made out of it and some movies. I figured what might be cool to do as a sort of a 2021 New Year's resolution is to actually do content on both of those series. And starting this Monday, I am actually going to start streaming Persona 4. I will stream it, I think, at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday on YouTube. And then, if it goes well, I'm going to stream every day as sort of a daily journal of sorts on Twitch. So while I'm just thinking about it, I'll bring up the link to my Twitch on the screen right now. There, I'll put that up. So you can see the link to my Twitch in the bottom left of the screen right now. It's twitch.tv/MaxDarrett. Go subscribe there if you haven't already. And I'll be playing Persona 4 there. And also, the first couple months of 2021 are going to be pretty busy. Obviously, I'm going to be covering The Medium, which is the new game from Bloober Team. Those are the same people that did Layers of Fear and Observer. And it's looking like The Medium is the closest thing that we're ever going to get to a Silent Hill game. So look out for my review of that. Maybe I'll play it live. And then in February, I do want to try and do videos on Little Nightmares 2. Leading up to it, I want to sort of do a recap of what we know from Little Nightmares 1 and also all the expansive lore. That way, when we go into Little Nightmares 2, we're all collectively prepared. I figured it's appropriate, you know. I think Little Nightmares, my original explanation video for that game, still one of my top 5 most popular videos. And looking back on it now, I think I got a couple things wrong, so I'd like to sort of unlist that video and put up one that's a little bit more accurate, you know. All right, with that out of the way, I'm still waiting to get a text back from my family member. Let me just look at the chat. First of all, Chardon sends in another €2. If you'd like, I can host for you. This is so good. Chardon, I really appreciate that. You know, if you think you make a good host, feel free to email me. We can talk. I can't promise you anything. You know, there's 170 people listening. Who knows how many of them will email me. Let's see. Okay, so this is where around here in the chat where I sort of said, hey, send in your messages and I'll read them. Justy64 says, love your videos so good. Thank you so much. Titan's Track says, hey, just wanted to pop in and say this is an excellent way to give back to your community on YouTube. Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. And I thought it was an excellent idea when my mother suggested it to me. And, given the response that we had today, I just further reinforced that fact. Maybe, because I have missed working with John, maybe what we can do is turn this into like a bi-monthly or monthly thing, where we can all just come together and do a collective mental health checkup. Make each other realize, hey, we're all in this together, right? Wayfarer Zen says, thank you for doing this. This was a really good surprise to start the year with. No problem. Thanks so much for tuning in and sharing your New Year's Day with us. Gil Nuez says, I want to say that I suffer a lot from anxiety and I can't see any good way out of it. Well, I suffer from generalized anxiety myself. It's a constant struggle. But you can definitely change the way that you approach. Oh, I'm now viewing John's screen. John, what are you doing, man? Why can't you just talk? Turn on your microphone. I don't know if you're still there. Or maybe he's in with a call with somebody else. I don't know how Zoom works. But sorry, back to what I was saying. In regards to anxiety, you can compartmentalize it. You can figure out which things are causing you little anxiety and which things are causing you the most anxiety. Which are the things that you can work on and solve relatively quickly, and which things will take a little bit of a longer effort. And then you write all those things down. And then you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to commit to taking care of one or two of these things. Maybe I could do one thing a day. Maybe I can do one thing a week. Just as long as you set that goal for yourself, and then you can overcome it. And then when you realize that you had the power within you to overcome that thing, then you realize that, hey, I have the power to overcome these slightly greater challenges. It's sort of like real life Demon Souls, right? I've actually been playing Demon Souls quite a bit over the last couple days, and kind of parallels what I'm talking about a bit. And then once you do that and you stay honest to yourself, about making sure that you write these things down and tackle them honestly, getting up every day and doing the necessary work on yourself and dealing with your other priorities, it'll become second nature. And then all of a sudden the anxiety won't be so overbearing. Now, of course, anxiety, there are lots of different facets to it. Maybe the anxiety has become so overwhelming that you might need some sort of medical intervention. That's possible. I've had to go through that similar intervention myself. And there will be times, where it becomes overwhelming. But there are things within your power to help mitigate the effects of anxiety, whether you believe it or not. And I'm living proof of that. You can meet other people within the community that are living proof of that. Make sure you reach out, okay? And don't deal with it entirely on your own. Thanks for that, Gil News. What was John's website again? Here, I'll bring it up for you real quick. Sorry, I got a whole bunch of different tabs open and I don't even know. Here, I'll put it up on the screen for you. JohnTuckerPhD.com. All right, so this is, open OBS. This is John's website, JohnTuckerPhD.com. And if you want to talk to him, all you have to do, it's right on the front page, right when you go to his website, go to Coping with COVID, schedule a chat, click there. Oh, I am the host now. See that? Hey, I'm the captain now. Go here, click on whatever time works best for you on a Monday, and you can talk to John. And I saw a couple other people in the live chat saying, hey, if I'm having trouble looking for resources, either due to money or whatever, you can always talk to John and he can set you on the right track. He did that for me. Okay, back to the chat. Matilda says, you're amazing. This brightened my day. No, you're amazing, Matilda. Everybody in my life that I've known, fact or fictional, that's named as Matilda, always been awesome. Wayfarer Zen says we need more of these. Hey, maybe we should do more of them. If there's enough demand for it, maybe we'll, like I said, bi-monthly, monthly thing. Dove says, thank you so much, Max, and everyone. This was an amazing experience. I feel so much better. Thank you, callers, for your sharing. I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate the callers. Everybody that called in today was awesome. Trophy.2xp says, I'll join the Discord. Thank you very much. Will Moffat says, thanks to everybody who is here. This has made my day brighter. Same here, dude. Gilden says, how about Witcher 3? I still got to play Witcher 3. My buddy, Black Pencil Ninja, he's the guy that I did the Cyberpunk video review that I did a couple weeks ago. He was giving me crap about never having played Witcher 3. I will play it. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, now that I'm the host, I could see the people that are waiting. Okay, here. Let's see. Who should we start with? Let's go here. Hector, you're on the air. You there, dog? Oh, Hector. Can you hear me, man? I brought you into the call. I don't see your microphone. Here, I'll show you. I'll put it up on the live screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, Hector, you're right there. I don't see your mic. It says that your cam is out, but if you'd like to talk, you'd have to plug in your mic or something. While you're figuring that out, I'm going to bring somebody else in, okay? Let's go with Blank. Blank, you there, player?
Hello?
Blank, can you hear me?
Hi. Hello.
Hi, what's up, man?
I was also watching the live stream at the same time. So, yeah, just want to talk because I felt like
Yeah, what's on your mind?
I felt like no one has to talk to. I don't know actually. I just feel like something's going on. Like since 2018, right? Back in 2018, I got diagnosed with a rare disease, juvenile dermatomyositis. That
Okay.
after like diagnosed, I got hospitalized for a couple months. I since that time I always had this inner battle with me, like battle in my brain. I wasn't even able to handle it. After some time, it was normal, but I don't know. I just feel kind of depressed.
Well, can you tell me? I've never heard about this rare disease. Like, what are the symptoms of it? Or the effects, rather?
Oh, the effects. Your skin color kind of turns into reddish. Your muscles, every part of your body kind of loses its power. You just turn into like a puppet. I remember the times my mom was carrying me to the toilet. I wasn't even able to move. I mean,
And are you still... Go ahead, sorry.
I mean, those times were done. I'm still taking medication, but right now, even before the COVID-19 pandemic, I just have this blank feeling of me. I can't even say. I feel like I'm always wearing a mask and just talking to someone, put like a different mask on. And right now, I live in a country called Turkey. Everything in this country is kind of depressing. I I just wanted to kill myself for some time. Yeah. And
Why do you feel like you can't be open with certain people?
all right, here's a simple question. Uh, okay. They just don't listen. I tried many times to reach out to people. They just either say, by the way, is it wrong if I say curses? If I say like bad words? F, yada yada. I mean, if it's bad, all right, okay. Anyways, I feel like I'm a 19-year-old guy who started college a couple months ago, but I feel like a 65-year-old man who experienced everything with the life. I just want to like go to a truck and go to the other side. I mean, everything is Turkey, if you like read the politics about it, everything goes down to politics in this country and makes everything more depressing about it. Everything they just ruin everything for no reason. I want to leave. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. And
where would you like to go to, ideally?
Norway or England.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. England's good. That's where my family's from.
Oh, nice. I actually have some of my family members in there as well, especially in London.
Right on.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I just want to sometimes talk to people. I feel like I have social anxiety when I talk to them.
Well, I gotta say, dude, like, I know what it's like to have social anxiety. I've been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, and I know how nerve-wracking it is to, come on and talk in front of a whole bunch of people. So you got to give yourself credit for at least that. That you have the power within you to be able to go beyond where you are right now.
That's the weird part. I mean, usually I talk with like 20 and more people in different places. But right now, I'm in a YouTube live stream talking to 119 people. It's kind of nerve-wracking. You're right. I can understand.
Dude, you're doing an awesome job. You're doing just fine, like, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what to say. I just feel like I don't want to live, or I want to live. I can't even choose what to say about anything right now. I just have this weird, blank, hollow emotion. I don't have anything in my body.
Okay. All right. So let's just take a couple of the things that you said apart piece by piece. First of all, the whole thing about, feeling like a 65-year-old inside a 19-year-old's body. Trust me, dog, I feel that exact same way every day. It's part of the reason, dude, it's part of the reason why I started a YouTube channel. It's like the stuff that I'm interested in, it's not at all like the stuff that, the kids my age were interested in. When I was 18 years old, I was interested in how the economy functioned and how quantitative easing was going to mess up Western economies, whereas kids my age were more interested about, I don't know, seeing how drunk they can get at parties and how many chicks they could bang or something. It's just, it's not, I mean, on a primitive level, what?
No, whatever. I was also talking to somebody else. I'm also not. My friend from college, he just messaged me. I just sent him a message, voice message actually. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So what I did to try and cope with the fact that I'm a boomer inside a millennial's body is I went online to try and find communities that were more in line with my interests. And when I found some of them, but I felt like I'd create something bigger if I just created it myself. So I started a YouTube channel, right? And unfortunately, when you're differently wired, being able to find people that are like you is difficult in itself. But the internet is a wonderful tool, and it's helped me connect with people in a way that I never thought possible. But maybe that's something that you might want to try and consider doing. I mean, you're young, if you feel like you're an old person inside of a young person's body, I assume that might mean you're intelligent. You could probably get in contact with a lot of really interesting people, whether it be in my community or somebody else's community, and no longer feel like you're just talking to people that aren't listening or just don't care, because there are people that care. I'm talking to you right now, for example, right?
Thanks, Max.
No problem, dog.
I appreciated it. It was a good small chat with someone. Feels good. Thank you.
No problem, dude. And I think there was one other thing that you said that I wanted to address. It just dropped from my mind. Can you help me out here?
I was saying something about a disease, and I had this inner battle in my mind. Something like that. Heck, I don't even remember myself.
Yeah, I think what you said was like you were struggling about whether to live or whether to not live. Listen, I'll give you some advice on that. When it comes to whether you want to live or whether you not want to live, ultimately, how can I say this properly? You're here, and you know it takes a lot of effort to.
Talk this.
You're biologically what?
Yeah, go on.
What'd you say?
Go on.
Yeah, you're biologically programmed to, you know, try to push aside suicide, right? So it'd probably be best to just, you know, go along with that on the one hand. But one other thing, you know what? Sorry. I'll just give you the one piece of advice that I found has always helped me when it comes to whether or not I should live or die. Because time and time again, this advice has always proven to be the most useful and has proven to be the most true. It comes from one of my favorite rock stars. Have you ever heard of a band called the Smashing Pumpkins?
Yes and no, but I only heard their name once.
Right. Well, the lead singer of that band, he's a guy named Billy Corgan. And he gave an interview once about struggling with mental health issues and whether or not you should live or die. And he said something that I found to be more profound than anything I've ever heard from anybody else. And I always found it to be the most useful for me, the more that I thought about it. He said, every time in my life that I ever thought about jumping off a cliff or doing something crazy, if there was some way that I could have a crystal ball and look into the future and see what was going to come ahead in my life, there's no way I would even consider it. Right? Life is full of so many sublime, beautiful moments. And if I had killed myself at the times where I came closest, the magical moments that I would have missed out on, like I've met a favorite band of mine. I met my ex-girlfriend, who, though I'm no longer with, I love dearly, and she gave me some of the happiest years of my life. I created this YouTube channel, created this amazing community, met all these amazing people. And you know what? If you're differently wired, you're, like I said, you're likely to be intelligent, and you have a gift in your hands that you don't recognize the power of just yet. And you're still young, and you can take that power and use it to your ability to live a life that you never even thought possible. I did it for myself, and I trust that you can do it for yourself too. And I think the best place to start is just think about what I said. Think about the things that you're good at, the life that you like to live. Maybe you need to go to England or Norway to do that, to pursue your passions. You never give up. Because I promise you, if you don't give up, your life will become that sublime future that Billy Corgan described. I promise. You just have to work at it. Do you understand what I was trying to say there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. We're coming to the end of the 2 hours, dude. But before I let you go, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Thanks for this little conversation, and man, your content's kind of great. I'm liking it. Really good.
Bless you, man.
Thanks.
What stuff are you liking the most?
Video games, and especially about Asperger's syndrome. Someone I knew had Asperger's syndrome, and I just decided to watch all of them. I want to listen more about it.
And
yeah, it is.
Has it given you a better idea to what's going on in his head?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could provide you with that clarity, dude.
Thanks.
And listen, I think we're gonna try and do this again. So feel free to call back when we do. Okay,
Yeah.
I'd love to talk to you some more.
Okay. See you later.
Okay, brother. All right, peace out.
Peace.
All right. So before we go, I just want to. Yeah, Hector, we weren't able to get you, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get to these guys here. Hopefully, maybe we could talk to you in the Discord later if you want to. I'll be around. Before we go, Sean Sky sends in 19 euros and 99 pence. that what it is? I should wait. No, that's not euros. What the hell am I talking about? Those are pounds. I should know. My family's from England. Sorry, my bad. Thank you for the stream and your content. As someone that struggled with anxiety for over 20 years, this stream has been very helpful. Peace and love, X. Thank you very much, Sean. And you know what I'm going to do? I am going to take a picture of your little message here, and I'm going to send it to John so he can. Oh, Hector! Hector came in with the clutch. Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, wait, this is the YouTube stream, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi, dog. Hey, how's everybody's how's everyone's New Year's going so far?
Mine's going great, dude. I've had an awesome last couple hours with you guys. Just bonding, sharing, chilling. How's your New Year's going?
Honestly, man, it's going really good. Right now I'm hanging out with my girl.
Nice.
I moved from California to Washington. I'm really happy about that because I just had a lot going on back when I was over there. Oh, dude, real quick before I forget. So you put out that video, I think a couple days ago about autism and guilt. I gotta say, man, like that kind of hit me in the heart for sure, dude. Because you know, I have Asperger's myself, and growing up in a pretty shitty environment, and then being in the military for 3 years, it kind of just compounded and compounded. And it's only been recently that I've been like addressing it with the VA and whatnot. And I don't know, man. Like things have been exceptionally shitty, but like I'm in Washington finally. I feel like things are gonna be better. But yeah, dude. I don't know.
Dude, you have autism and you were in the military?
Yes, sir.
Dude, you're a hero. Thank you so much for your service.
Hey, thanks for the support, brother.
Yeah, I can't imagine, like, just with some of the things that stereotypically go along with having autism, just sensitivity to the loud noises. And well, then again, I suppose with how strict the routines of the military are, that can be quite beneficial to people who have autism. Well, anyways, you get the point. It can be hard or it could be good, but either way, I'm really glad that we have people like you fighting on behalf of the Western world.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, it was. I'm not gonna lie, like it really was kind of difficult, especially because just my coping mechanisms for handling stress typically involved like I don't know if you guys in the stream or you personally do this, but for me, I put on different hats depending on like who I'm hanging around with, right? So like in the army, like you've got a lot of like rough and tough dudes, and so you got to put on this like rough and tough, like demeanor, and that can get like especially for me because I'm a Christian man. I have a really strong affinity for the Lord. And, for me, doing all the stuff that I was doing in the army, trying to get along with the guys I was serving with, it'd get pretty stressful. And then I'd turn to other things. The big one for me was um, adult entertainment. And, it, like that actually was what wound up, getting me into kind of, well, not like legally speaking, but it messed up my work performance because I was coming into work late, and I sought help for it. And then because the command staff didn't like me because, again, I've got a certain way of handling things. It wasn't bad necessarily. It was just it didn't jive with what everybody wanted. I wound up getting kicked out and then eventually ostracized, and that was like a really big I guess mental scar for me because it's like shit, here I am, I'm a soldier, and I'm I'm wearing the uniform. I'm getting paid to be a soldier, but I'm not doing anything soldierly. Like they just tell me, "Ah, you're good, man. Just go to your room." hang out. You're good, man. And 7 months of that, dude, fucking killed me. Like, don't get me wrong, dude. Like the first month when they're like, "Oh, do whatever, man. Do whatever you want." Like, fuck yeah, dude. You know, like just getting drunk and hanging out in my room and going to the Warrior Zone and just playing video games on the computers. It was cool, you know. But like as time goes on, it's like shit, man. You know, like I want to work. They're like, no, you're good,
Yeah.
man. You're good. And then,
God, that would kill me, man. I need to be doing something. And if I'm just playing games all day, I start to get super guilty.
yes, dude.
Right?
Yes. 'Cause it's just like, you know, I should be doing more than just that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you get the same thing too.
Yeah. Although I actually took a bit of a day to myself because it is New Year's Day. I was playing Demon Souls right up into the stream, but I do actually got to get back to work, and I will. And speaking of the autism and guilt video, my next video is going to be like that video where I'm talking over gameplay, but about autism.
Oh, right on.
And it's looking like, yeah, and here's a little bit of a gift to the people that decided to stick around for the last 2 hours. The video will be called Autism and Pain.
Nah, dude. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, I need to check out the rest of your catalog, brother, because you know, for me, autism for me has really just been like me excusing a lot of it. Like, oh, you know, I don't really have autism, you know, like I'm pretty well gifted for someone who has it. And, you know, like, oh, I've like, for me, the things I've accepted are I can't read facial language all that well sometimes. Sarcasm goes over my head. And I'm very black and white about things, but there's like so many other aspects to it that I put to the side. And watching your video is like, okay, I need to do more research on what I have because, um, you know, like I'm pretty much just killing myself not knowing like how to deal with what I actually have. So I'm really grateful that you
Well,
put this stream up so I can, you know, personally thank you for, um, you know, like addressing it because it was really
my,
relatable and it's like, damn, you know.
my pleasure, brother, and thank you so much for tuning in. Before I let you go, did you happen, like, out of the videos that you watched, did you happen to watch my Truth About Asperger's Syndrome series?
I have not. I only watched the one video, but that was enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm subscribing. And then I saw your notification for the live stream hangout, and I'm like, hell yeah. So,
Okay, cool, dude. Well, what I recommend if you're looking for more clarity about what things might be autism and what things might not be autism, what things that you can sort of make peace with yourself with, that might be worthwhile looking into. Pretty informative. At least that's the feedback that I've gotten from some
you said
people.
it's called
And
Truth About Asperger's?
yeah, the truth about Asperger's syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a playlist on my channel. You can find all the videos in it. If you just go to my main channel, look at playlists, and then they'll be there.
Rock on, dude.
Yeah. All right, and thank you so much for tuning in, Hector. We gotta turn things off now.
Alrighty, brother. Well, hey, y'all take care. God bless, and have a happy new year.
Same to you, sir. Have a good day.
Alrighty, take care.
All right, peace. And finally, Crizzle, my man Crizzle. Speaking of people who've been around since the OG Max Derrett days, he sends in €5. He says, not going to watch this because it would likely only bring my mood down, but I admire that you're doing this. Have a $5 and much deserved love. Thanks, Crizzle. And you're probably not still listening to this, but just in case, it's actually been quite positive here. Been lovely talking to all of you guys. And I'm so grateful to have people here that I can connect with to make myself feel less lonely, even though I am here maybe trying to provide you guys with advice, maybe trying to provide you guys with a reprieve. Doing this also provides a reprieve from my own negative emotions. And a lot of you have done that for me today. Sorry that we couldn't get to the other people here. We'll try to make something regular out of this, all right? If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you leave a comment if you enjoyed it. That tells the YouTube algorithm that not only this stream was worth watching, but all the other content on my channel is worth watching. And who knows, maybe there is somebody out there that's struggling with autism or some other form of mental health issue that might need some sort of clarity, some sort of coming to Jesus moment. And that one of my videos might show up in their recommended feed. Maybe be one of my videos or one of the old episodes of the Differently Wired show. And we can continue to build this community of positivity, because Lord knows we need a lot of positivity going into this new year. All right? So just remember, stay tuned for Monday if you want to see me stream Persona. We'll be streaming it here on YouTube. Oh, and also, some of you might, for those of you who watched my Cyberpunk discussion video that I did a few weeks ago, I said at the end of it that I was going to be doing a news show, a gaming news show in the new year. Look out for the first episode of that coming week. All right, that's it for me, guys. My name is Max Darrett, and until next time, just remember, as always, you stay yellow, okay?